I'm Venu Keller. Welcome to Venu Inspires. It's time to give your children a childhood they won't have to heal from. There are many times in my life that my kids come into my office and I have to give them that 1 minute signal, meaning that I'm busy right now. I can't attend to what you need right now. And sometimes I feel really guilty about that. Sometimes I feel that I'm just so busy and I don't want my kids to feel they're not important. I'm Venu Keller. I'm known as a parent-child whisperer. Today, I'm going to talk to you about the 5 things that you can do to ensure that your kids feel just as important as they are. The first thing is prioritizing and planning. One of the things that I do every day is I look at my schedule when I wake up and I realize, what is it that is non-negotiable? The first things are my kids' school and their after school activities. Those are non-negotiables. Everything else, I need to work around that. And sometimes my husband's not here because he travels for his job at times. So I have to juggle that even more. But I make sure that I'm prioritizing what are my non-negotiables and then fitting in everything else that I need to do. The second thing is quality versus quantity. What does quality time look like? It is not that, oh, I spent 8 hours working, so I need to give my kids 8 hours. See, when we are spending quality time with our kids and we're being fully present with them, they don't watch the clock. They don't know that you're only spending 15 minutes. Because when you are spending quality time, you're shutting down the phones, you're taking out all the distractions, and it's really about them. And one of the things that I do with my kids is I even ask them, make a list. What is it that you like to do just one-on-one with mom? That way, when I have a list right here, a list, I can choose on those days. What do I have time? Going back to planning, right? What do I have time to do with them to make them feel special on their list? And sometimes it's only 15, 20 minutes that day because it's just been a busy day for them and me because they have extracurricular activities and I have my job to do. But they know they're important. Because let's face it, why are we busy parents? Because we want to give our kids a great life. But part of that means making them a priority too. So giving them the quality of you versus the quantity of time that's busy. The third thing is delegating. I know it's cliche to say it takes a village, but it takes a village. As I mentioned a minute ago, my husband sometimes has to travel for work. So it's easier for me to look at the schedule while I'm planning and say, what am I able to move and what can't I move? And in those opportunities that I can't move something, I call upon our friends of the family, my in-laws, whoever it takes to make sure that my kids are still a priority, that they're not going to miss out on what they need to do because dad's at work and mom has to work. So I start delegating different tasks to other people to help me to make sure that my kids are taken care of. It's teamwork. How are you creating a team in your life to make sure that there's time for your kids and everything runs smoothly? The fourth thing is self-care. Now, a lot of people forget about this. And to be honest, I would forget about it a lot too in my earlier days. But I realize I have to put my own oxygen mask on first. I can't give my kids when there's nothing left in me. I can't give my husband, my clients, anything else if there's nothing in me. So I started to look at, what do I need to do to self-care? What recharges me? How can I take care of me to de-escalate, discombobulate my day or a situation and feel better about myself because I'm worth it? And this also shows my kids, it models to my children that taking care of yourself first is utterly important. so you can have something to give back to other people. So, is that a bath? Is it going for a massage? Is it going out to lunch with a friend? Is it just laying in bed for a few hours and watching your favorite Netflix series? What does that look like for you to take that time to self care and recharge yourself? And last, but definitely not least, the fifth thing is flexibility. Be flexible. Be flexible in life. Be flexible. Things are going to change. The one thing that's constant in our life that we can't change is the amount of hours we have in a day. We have 24 hours in a day. And sometimes we have to be flexible and the opportunities that arise in our day each day. Something that we thought was a non negotiable all of a sudden had to become a negotiable. It's the flexibility in that schedule. If your child's home sick and you have all these meetings, but your child needs you, that's not something I'm going to delegate. That's something that I'm going to take care of. I need to be there for my child. I need to be there to nurture them. I need to be there to take care of them. So they know that, again, they're my priority. That's the flexibility that we need in our life. When you start to implement these 5 things, all of a sudden that parent guilt for being so busy goes away because the quality of time that you have with your children starts to expand. I'm Binu Keller, and thank you for joining me today, and I'll be back with some more tips.